Disaster resilience is a term to explain that we think about how we can help people become more capable of adapting to hazards that affect their house. For example, a flood, an earthquake, hurricanes, landslides. How can you prepare for this and how can you make sure that your household is prepared for it? A disaster really pushes people back into poverty. And especially in the case of Nepal, it is really, really sad to see. So we want to find smart ways of helping people recover. What we see, there's not enough money available, there's more people in need, so we really have to think about, okay, what is the real essence or the real struggles of people that they're facing in the recovery process, and how can we really tap into their process. So we have to be smart and to find out what is really effective to help them make those steps, to overcome those barriers. Here at ITC, we collaborate with Nepalese institutes to find the right solutions. We work a lot in collaboration with partners in Nepal, humanitarian organizations in Nepal, but also academics in Nepal. So we work in close collaboration with them. We do field research, but we also do a lot of modeling here at our university. So it's an ongoing long-term collaboration that we have going on.
I specialize in disaster risk resilience, specifically on anticipatory action. Basically, these are different actions that are taken before a disaster strikes, but want to get the forecast information. So we try to use the data and digital science, especially the use of satellite information, and be able to make informed decisions before a disaster event. I want to specifically look at, in context of Nepal, how it is being done, what can we improve, how can data guide these decisions even better.
What I know is when, where and how large the landslides will be and how often they will occur, and also in the climate change scenarios in the next 50 years, what will be the scenario of risk in the entirety of Nepal. Mostly we use artificial intelligence to model the different scenarios or model, let's say, different hazards and their interactions.
We ask the people what are their main struggles, and we do this with large surveys, but we also try to identify the potential risks using satellite data, looking at, for example, the building code. How do you build a safe house? Are people already complying with those safety guidelines or not? So we use different analysis techniques to really identify, okay, what are potentially the main struggles of people in the future in hazard situations that they will encounter. Also, master students in the team have carried out fieldwork as part of their thesis.
So we do data collection door to door, and then we do the interview with the communities, and we ask several questions. So for example, for me, I do a question that is related to risk perception.
So we need household surveys that we did and focus group discussions, and I also did more structural assessment. So then looking at the house, how is it built, which materials and things like that.
In my research, what I found is after the disaster, the Gorkha earthquake, so the people, they are not willing to move into these resettlement sites for various of reasons, like they are not happy with the housing design. Most of the households, they also complain that the livelihood is disrupted, and also their houses are incomplete in many cases. So there are many factors which has influenced the people's decision of making this resettlement decisions here.
As we know from many places around the world, the implementation is always an issue. So we can develop a lot of scientific insights, guidelines, but how do we reach the local level? And also in Nepal, that's also a challenge. So how do we reach the local stakeholders, the communities, the people that are really dealing with the hazards? So we do a lot of different things to make sure that we try to reach them. One of the things that we do is, for example, we try to stimulate the conversation in the communities by developing games that really get the conversation going. Okay, what is a fitting solution for us? How do we protect ourselves from the hazards that we are expecting?
We developed a board game that had as main goal to really get people to interact with each other and go through the whole process of what is needed to build a house. It's just a game. It's kind of low stakes. So it is actually a very nice way to open up the conversation and to guide people in what might potential things be that you run into during the design process. So it's not only an educational thing, it is also very much a social thing where people just come together, think about the issues that they might have, and go through them together.
I have established a game which it's actually sounds very naive to call it a game, but yeah, that's how it is. So it's actually gamification of technical assistance to these communities. So I have a set of cards which shows what type of techniques they can use, how much does it cost, and what is the resilience score does each technique has.
We have found that people are actually quite capable of finding what is needed to protect their house. So they know they have to have a higher ground floor, they know they have to store their goods in the upper floors of their house to keep them dry. So there's different ways that they are already coping with potential floods, for example. So knowledge is not always what they need, training is not always what they need, but there are other things that we can help communicate. So for example, other barriers that they experience in their reconstruction process.